Today we are going to put together my favorite thing to do every year in the garden. I call it my terracotta garden tower, and that's exactly what it is. It is made with terracotta pots and flowers. Flower of choice for me is impatiens. This is a shady location. If you had a sunny location, you could probably do those little, what are those little petunia things called? Or like a rose moss. I did used to have one in my front yard, and I put rose moss in it. It looked great, but if you want to see what it looks like, here's a little image of when it's grown, like in the middle of July. But yeah, so you're going to need some impatiens. I would not, I've got these big size ones, the 6-pack. If you can find the 4-pack, which generally the root ball is smaller, I would recommend that because you are going to jam them into this pot. You are also going to need to make a fairly hefty investment in your terracotta pots. All the pots do have to have a hole on the bottom. Most of them do anymore, but there are some still out there that don't. You need a hole so that you can easily slide it on your 3-foot rebar. So you do need a 3-foot rebar. You could also substitute that for a wooden stake, a dowel rod, as long as it was probably about this size around. I will say though, mine rotted out after like 3 years, the old one I had, so I just went with rebar, and it just lives its best life in here, and I never have any problems. As far as the size of the pots, you're going to want to start with the biggest size and then shrink it by 2 inches in diameter each time. So my biggest one is a 14-inch, and then I've got a 12-inch, a 10-inch, an 8-inch, and a 6-inch. You don't have to do 5 like I did. You can do 4, you can do 3, you can do whatever you want. If you want a bigger gap in here, whatever, you can do the math on that. I do pretty much just reuse the soil each year and add fertilizer throughout the season. But one thing I do add a little bit more of each year are these Miracle Grow water storing crystals. And that's because since this is terracotta, terracotta notoriously sucks out all the water. So it does need to be watered like twice a day. I find that if I forget one of the times a day and I've got the water crystals in it, then it seems to not basically kill my plants in those hot August days. This stuff says on the back exactly how much you need, but because I know these already have it, I'm just going to kind of half that. So now all we need to do, so we've got our pots, we've got our lovely flowers, we've got our rebar, and so I'm going to show you how I actually put this thing together. All right, just so you know, before I started any of this, I did pull out all the old roots from last year, and that is the only prep that I've done. I'm about to add a few more water storing crystals. Now, the back of the package is going to say, we're going to say this is a gallon to use 2 teaspoons. I know there's probably still some in here from last year, so I'm only going to add 1 teaspoon in. I don't know. It just makes, why, I probably don't even need to put it in every year, but I just feel like I just don't want to be messing with it. Okay, so there, here's this. We're just going to sprinkle it in. Oh, also, this is not how the instructions say to sprinkle it in, but this is the way we're doing it. And then you just kind of dig it in to the dirt. You're trying to get it down further so that the water is better. But listen, I just like the way it looks. I don't want to follow all the rules necessarily. All right, so now that that's done, the very first thing we get to do is put some flowers in. Because this is in a corner, I don't need flowers to go all the way around, so I'm going to start my first flower right about here. You do not have to be gentle with these flowers. I have like jammed them into locations. I usually fluff the roots a little bit, and they come back. I mean, I've had no issues getting this thing to be beautiful every single year. I might even plant them a little bit too close to each other. Whatever, it does not matter. I just pull them up and stick them in. Up on this top one, I will put it just a couple inches apart so they have more room to grow. And I got 3, I thought I got 3 colors, but look at this. This was a multi-pack, so I don't know. We'll see how this looks when it's done. And then I got this. You see, I'm jamming it. Like I'm losing leaves. It's fine. They will be fine. That is a healthy looking baby. All right, then we'll throw white in again. Because that's how we roll. Oops, I hit the, sorry, I'm hitting the, what you're holding up on. And then I am not going to use another one of these dark ones because I don't have that many of them. So I'm going to put in this back corner another one of these just because. All right, and that's it. Okay, it's in there, and you're like, what? That's it? So now all we do is we take the next size pot, which would be the 12-inch pot. Oops, I'm moving my... There we go. Oh, let's not kill the plant. Boom. That's it. And then we water it. So we're going to do this for each and every layer. I am going to speed it up so you don't have to slowly watch me do this. As you watch me do this, I want to make sure that you really do understand that you do not have to be gentle with these at all. Look at the way I am just jamming them into the pot. The important thing that you need to remember is that you get all of the roots under the soil in the pot so that your plants will thrive. Okay, one thing I noticed as I was doing this, I actually got two different sizes. This is the size you want. The smaller size is better. They are going to grow, they are going to flourish, and they are just easier to work with. All right, let's get back on it. For each layer that you do, you can use less plants. So for these last few pots, I am just going to go ahead and put them on and add the soil moist as I go because I'm worried they won't fit. So we're just going to go ahead and do these that particular way. Literally, you see how I'm doing this. It's easy peasy, but then what we're going to do now is just take this and put it in there, and that way I can manipulate it because I want more space here to be able to put my plants, and it's hard once I get in there. These bottom ones, it doesn't seem to matter as much. All right, let's plant away. Most years when I do this, I do use impatient flowers. They come in pinks and salmon and in orange and white and red. So I can change up the colors every single year, have different color combinations. One year I did red, white, and blue, and so I used white and red impatiens, and I put a lobelia plant in there, which have tiny blue-like flowers. They didn't do really well because the impatiens just took over. So again, do not worry about being rough with your impatiens. These things are going to thrive. All right, here she is completely done. I mean, it's not grown in yet, but let me show you again the picture of how it looks once it completely grows in. Could I have put more flowers on it? Absolutely. Do I need to? Absolutely not. I used, let's count over here. I have that many left. Oh, it looks like I had some 8 and some 6 packs. So I still have quite a few. I will find a use for those in my pots. And don't forget to get yourself some of that Miracle Grow water storing crystals. It's perfect for this, but I also use it in my house all the time. So I do have an affiliate link I said in the description. But yeah, here it is. It is completely done. A beautiful, easy to make terracotta flower tower.